What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Niner Sickness with the N.W.A, accompanied with my two brothers from other mothers. We got the Florida Mike all the way from Florida, and we got Mr. Whitey Mighty, Eric Davis. What's up, gentlemen?
What's going on?
Whitey Mighty?
Just
Anybody else?
Sorry.
Beto, I am 20% offended, Beto.
That just came out of nowhere, bro. I apologize. I don't know where that came from.
I'm
Whitey Mighty.
20%. I'm 20% offended, Beto.
What's up, young hitter?
Guys,
I'm sorry.
I did my ancestry DNA test, and I have 20% Northwestern European, so I'm 20% offended, Beto.
Hey, Kiana. How you doing? Kiana Lopez. Kiana Lopez says, hello, this is my first time here. Welcome to the show,
what's
Kiana.
up, Kiana? Thanks for joining us, Kiana. Hey, Kiana, if you're able to go in the chat box, I'd love to hear how you heard about this show and what brought you on. Appreciate you joining us. We're going to have a quick, exciting show for you.
Yep. Right on.
Everybody
right on.
show love to Kiana. It's her first time here. Show love.
Everybody show Kiana some love. First time here. Hopefully it won't be your last time, Kiana.
Shout out to the Canadian family that we have.
What's up, Tom?
And his
Canada
side
in the
there.
house, baby.
There's my girl, Dina. How you doing, Dina? Welcome. Dina from Philly.
Much love to Canada.
We got Philly representing, and we got Canada in the house. Love it. So, gentlemen, how was your guys' week? And it is Friday. Finally, the weekend is here. We are getting closer to draft night. Looking forward for April 29. All this craziness since we moved up from 12 to 3 about who is going to be at 3. Is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Justin Fields? Is it going to be Trey Lance? Is it going to be Zach Wilson? Is it going to be Mike Tyson? All these people. Who is it, man? I don't know, man. All I know is it's going to be a quarterback. I'm interested to see which quarterback it is. It's going to be a fun night. Speculating between now and the 3rd. It's going to continue to be fun. Let's continue to talk about it, man. So, have you guys had enough of quarterback talk, or are you guys still the same excited as you guys were day one? Go ahead, Mike, and then I'll have it. Go ahead, Eric, and then we'll ask Mike.
I was going to say, it's kind of dwindled down for me a little bit. I've kind of narrowed it down to one or two athletes that I really like. But it doesn't matter. Coming from us, it doesn't really matter who we like. At the end of the day, we're going to respect who the 49ers select at number 3, and we're going to move forward.
100% agreed.
I just want to see. I think that you're going to get the all of what the player can do with what we have in play with our player. I mean, with our coaches, stuff like that. I think that you're going to get the best of that from Kyle and our playbook. We do have one of the most complicated offenses in the NFL, so I would hope that the player that we select not only has the athletic ability, but the mentality to learn this playbook and make it their own. And not only just that, but when you notice that Jimmy kind of learned the playbook, he even in the moments that he improvised when he didn't know the playbook, I felt that he was more of himself when he was in improvisation mode than he was when he was just following the playbook. I felt like the playbook has kind of limited him a little bit, and he's taken that aspect out of his game before he got hurt this year. And I'd like to see more of that from Jimmy when we go into this year, because regardless of who we pick, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the starting quarterback this year. So I do expect him to go out and play his ass off this year. Oh, no. It's not going to be hopefully. He's going to be. He'd have to go out there and get hurt again.
Right, Kiana Lopez says real quick, she says, hi, everyone. I found the post on NSC Prime from Corey Davis. Corey Davis, my boy Corey, He's been promoting our show on NSC Prime. I am one of the creators there in NFC Prime. So welcome, Kiana. Welcome to our show. We appreciate you, man. Thank you. Don Dodson, how you doing? How's Jayla? And oh, excuse me.
I'm down.
I know. Got stuck there. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing great. It's yeah, man. At the end of the day, we're gonna rock with whoever Kyle Shanahan picks. If you're a true Niner fan, if you are true faithful to the emblem, not to the player, you may not be happy, but you're gonna rock with the Niners regardless. And we gotta trust and believe that Kyle Shanahan knows best. But on the other hand, it's just still finding a hard time believing that you trade up. But I guess when you love somebody, you fall in love with somebody, you fall in love with somebody. That's just the bottom line. But it's just hard for me to believe you give up 3 number ones and a third to move her up from 12 to 3 for a quarterback like Mac Jones. And I'm not trying to discredit Mac Jones. I'm not trying to say Mac Jones sucks. Mac Jones is a serviceable quarterback. He's going to be great in the league, most likely a backup. But I don't see him being the caliber of quarterback like Justin Fields or Trey Lance or Zach Wilson. I don't know about you guys, man. I just can't buy that you give up 3 number ones and a third for a quarterback of the status of Mac Jones from Alabama.
Well, ultimately, I mean, I've said this before. The number 3 that we got is a consolidation that we got from a coach leaving. So, to me, at the end of the day, we just gave up 2 number 2s for a future quarterback. See that going on.
He wants to
my
be
son. My son is over here. Come here. They done seen you already. Come here. You can say hello real quick.
What's your son's name?
Like Amari.
Come
here.
Let me talk to that. Let me talk to that receiver.
Here. Look, they gonna show your names right here on the comments. Like, watch. Just come over here. You guys.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
They said, "What's up?" Say hello.
Young Jerry Rice.
Say hello.
What's up, young Jerry Rice? How you doing?
Say what's up. No, they can't hear you because I got the headset on. All right, well, we got a show, man. Don't you interrupt me. We're going live.
That's all right, man. You always got to bring in the kid, man. That's the young Jerry Rice right there that I always see catching the balls.
He do play wide receiver for real. So hopefully he is the next. If he's the next San Francisco 49ers, everybody getting tickets on the show. Ironically, I just got these Skittles.
Go for no other team.
Red and gold. I just put out some Skittles. Red is gold. Red and gold.
There you go. I hate the Bucs.
Yeah.
I don't hate any. I don't know.
Hate's such a harsh word, but I just love
hate is a harsh word, but I agree with Tom. I hate everybody in the NFL outside of 49ers. So with that being said, Tom, I agree with you. I hate the Yucks too.
So let me ask you something. Your son grows up, goes to college, plays ball, goes to a good college, and then he goes to play for the Cowboys. He gets drafted to the Cowboys. You going to support the Cowboys?
Let's see here. If my son was to get drafted to that team, we'll pull a Eli Manning.
I doubt you'll do that.
I tell you this. I'd be honest. I'd rather be homeless for the rest of my life and the next life than to be a Cowboys fan.
You wouldn't be a Cowboys fan. You'd just be cheering your son on. But at the end of the day,
my son will not play for that team. I'd tell him just go play Canadian Football League. So
let me give out millions of dollars and make thousands of dollars.
That's fine. I have principles, man. I have principles. Money means nothing to me. I have principles. Principle over money. Yeah. I don't like the Dallas Cowboys.
Tell that to him.
He's trained. He's good. He'll stump on the star with me. So
he can stomp on the star.
Yeah, I would do more than that, but I'm sure we have like kids probably in the vicinity of this show outside of mine, so I'm not going to say what I would do to the star, but I would do way worse than what T.O. did.
Yeah. Well, he was a traitor. He went and played for Dallas too.
Yeah. Money means nothing to me. So I hate the Cowboys, and I'll leave it at that. And hate is a strong word, and I realize it, and I hate the Cowboys, and I say that with pride.
The Cowboys has always been a crazy team to dislike, but so anyway, back. So we know we're getting quarterback at 3. I want to hear your thoughts on the second pick on the second round on number 43. I want to know which direction you think the Niners should go. Do you think they should go corner? Should they go lineman, offensive lineman? Should they go receiver, best player on the board, or a specific position you think the Niners should go? Go ahead, Mike, and then we'll pass it on to Eric.
That's a great question. You know, I feel the most significant need in the second round should be something in the secondary. Now, I realize that we re-signed a lot of our players in the secondary, but here's the reality: our secondary is injury prone. You know, Tart, Jimmy Ward has. I mean, Jimmy Ward has played recently, but he's been hurt, and then Verrett, like all these guys have been injury prone and have a history of injury. So I don't feel confident that we will have if these guys go down, we don't have the depth. So I would, and plus they're only available for just this year. Like next year, they're going to be gone. So I'm thinking about the future. So that's one reason why I push secondary over everything else. Now, what Florida might would personally like on a business level, secondary makes the most sense. My preference, I would love to get it's tough. I actually would like to go on the offensive side of the ball.
Interesting.
For me, my business side will say defensive side of the ball, secondary. My fan side would say offensive side of the ball, and I say that because, lineman is the same problem. You got to have depth beyond the starters, but that applies to every position to me in the NFL. But some positions are a little bit more. Like you really don't want to lack in. Like in our case, we don't want to lack in a backup quarterback. We showed that really puts a hole in our team. So now that we're getting that with the number 3 pick, second round, I like to go all out and get another tight end. And I know that's not common among many people, but I'm gonna tell you, I don't know the tight ends available. So don't get me asking me which player. I'm just saying position. If there's a really good tight end that can come in and make an impact, not just block, but also be another threat to catch the ball. The reason being, George Kittle gets hurt. Whether we like to admit it or not, our best player also gets injured. And when he's out of the game, our offense seems to take a little drop. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we won games without him, but our run production and different things that the intangibles to the team that he brings, it minimizes. So if you can get another tough tight end in there, they don't have to be George Kittle great, but they can be effective. I mean, hey, it's proven a system with multiple tight ends, it works. Why not have a tight end that's costs less than a wide receiver and does more than a wide receiver? And, that's what I would like. You know what I mean? Another tight end. But I think our biggest need is secondary.
And what about you, Eric?
Corner. Corner is the biggest need outside of quarterback. There's no arguing that. Right. Everybody's on a 1-year deal. And as stated before, if you look at each of the corners that we have, they have yet to remain healthy for a 16-game season, let alone now we're going to go to 17 games. If one of these guys were to go down, there is nobody that I feel comfortable coming in to start.
Gotcha. I heard that Richard Sherman might be coming back.
Outside of
really?
Outside of who?
Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman. I thought he was already gone somewhere.
No. He's waiting. He wants to come back. He wants to come back at a discount.
I figured he would. He's gonna have to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's not gonna get paid what he wants.
I would like him back.
He wants to contend.
Honestly, I think it's time for him to hang it up. He's not the same player.
I would like to move him to safety. Honestly,
I don't want him to be a safety. He'd be a liability.
Really? What would you say there?
Yes. He don't have the speed. He plays close. He plays better within the first 5 or 10 yards. Everything outside of that, if you put him out at safety, he's gonna be a liability. He don't have the recovery to play safety. And if he was playing a box safety where he's playing closer to the line of scrimmage, yes. But if you got him out there playing center field, no.
You would play him strong, not free safety, but strong safety.
Yeah.
But I hear you. That's just what I heard.
I don't like it. I don't like
but
it.
I agree. We got to go corner. I like that kid, Sante Samuel Jr. coming out of Florida.
I'm not even leaning towards him. He's questionable. He's actually probably going to come in as a slot corner. We need somebody that can play outside.
He can play outside.
Yeah, but he's not ideal for outside. I think he's going to end up being a slot corner. Would
he be perfect to take over K. Williams when he leaves?
Honestly, I like Jamar Taylor. I think we have Taylor there to play slot if Williams goes down, but if Mosley or Brad go down, then there's not really anybody there. I think we need somebody that can play outside. Honestly, I know as tough as it may sound for you guys to move back up into the first round, I can see us doing that for a corner for our guy. I know we talked to a few corners. This is we may give up a second. We may give up our second and a third, or something consolidable to move back in if we needed to. But outside of like J.C. Horn, even they even like the kid from Virginia Tech that's gone through some injury, but when he's healthy, I don't really want to get into too much tangibles as far as with the player that stays hurt, because we already have that issue with a lot of our players. I want somebody that comes in clean slate that's not staying hurt. My ideal corner would be somebody like Newsome from Northwestern. The kid can ball.
He's out of the Big Ten West. He's 6'1", 190 pounds. I
like him. I think he could be a shutdown corner. Now, if we can get him at the end of the first round, if we can trade back in and get him at the end of the first round, then so be it. But I don't think he's going to make it to where we're at.
What about that kid out of Georgia, Eric Stokes?
He might be there. I mean,
he's likely to be more there at 43 than the kid from Northwestern.
I haven't really heard too much about Stokes as far as with the Niners meeting with him or anything like that. I know there's been some other names thrown around. I know we've met with Newsome. I know we've met with Samuel. I know we've met with there's a couple of others that had names that you and me couldn't even pronounce.
Yeah, but that's the interesting part. How many players have been drafted by the 49ers that have said to us, to the fans, once they're part of the Niners, that when the media asks, were you ever approached by a 49er? And they're like, nope, I didn't even know they were interested in me, and they drafted me. And I know
McGlinchey didn't even have a meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
McGlinchey was like, who the hell are the 49ers?
So, and they're known to do that. So sometimes it's those players that you never heard of, they're talking to, is the ones that get their name called on draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and then it's interesting to see what happens.
Then outside the corner pick, we do have a need at safety with Tart. I'm okay with, if Jimmy goes down, bringing in Travarius Moore that need be or whatever, but Tart going down, we have to kind of take a back step with our Marcel Harris, and I'm not really feeling. I think I'd feel better if we address that as well. You had mentioned something about the tight end position with having somebody to complement Kittle, but I really like Russ Dwelly. I think he's fine. There was another tight end in this draft that I really like that would be great opposite of Kittle, but I don't think he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna be there after we get done addressing the defense. I think this draft is going to be heavily focused on the defense. I think our offense is fine. I think most of it's going to be just defense.
Yeah, well, when I was talking about tight end, I mean, I had in mind somebody better than Dwelly that can do more. I'm not saying the rookie's going to come in and do all this magnificent stuff, but Dwelly's good. He fills in, he does his job, but I feel like it would be nice to see Dwelly, out there with Kittle more. as opposed to when Kittle goes down and you see more Dwelly. I would like to see them together. So if Kyle Shanahan feels like I don't know what's going on in the offense in that detail, but like, if those two aren't on this field at the same time, majority of the plays or whatever, maybe we don't run a multiple tight end set. I don't know. But I would like to see more tight end play, as opposed to like another extra receiver. I feel like when we talk about the line, the tight end can kind of complement the line indirectly by giving an additional blocker, and also they can catch. So it's like you're getting a wide receiver and a lineman at the same time with a tight end. I feel like a tight end value, if we utilize it more with two, it will take more pressure off Kittle. It'll actually make Kittle more effective because how are they going to guard two? Like when we had Jordan Reed out there and he was balling out. You know what I mean? I would love to have a caliber tight end that can go out there and take pressure off of him and do more than Reed with as far as blocking.
Well, I mean, Jordan couldn't stay healthy either, so that really nipped that in the bud. But there's a couple of tight ends in this draft that I like, but I just don't know if they're gonna fall into place for us. Brevin Jordan from Florida is one. I really like him, and the other one is Trey McKitty.
McKitty from
He's
Georgia.
been hurt. He's been hurt, but he's a potential steal. I think he could be a diamond in the rough. Like if he falls to like the 5th round or something like that.
I like the kid from the SMU. Killing Garcin or Justin, or I forgot his name. He's a pretty good tight end out of SMU. If you watch him play,
No.
he's pretty good. I like him, and he can probably be there in the 5th round. Because I think that's what the Niners would take a tight end, right? A 5th round. I don't think they'll take one in.
Somewhere later in the draft.
I think they'll take corner
in,
second. I think they'll take third. They'll probably go what S rusher.
I don't. I know we've been trying to address. I think in free agency we've done some of that as far as with the depth. I think corner, safety. And I had mentioned, a slot receiver on the offense because Richie James is going to get more reps, obviously, this year because Kendrick Bourne is gone. But outside of Brandon Ayuk, Debo, which Debo's been hurt quite a bit, and we haven't really had that third receiver like we really wanted. That guy was supposed to be Trent Taylor because the chemistry that he had with Jimmy, but he's gone. He's been hurt the whole time he's been a Niner. I wanted a small little shifty guy there, like Adam Humphries through free agency or something like that. But
if Elijah Wood, Elijah Wood, if Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss would be there at 43, would you take him?
It'd be hard not to. Kid's talented.
Yeah, bro. Even though we need a corner, bro. If he's there at 43, bro, I would jump on him.
I like him. I do like him, and I like. But see, here's the other thing too. Our love for South Carolina.
Yeah,
Smith from South Carolina is pretty good
Our
too.
ties with South Carolina is ridiculous.
Yeah. What is the kid from Ole Miss, tight end?
No, receiver.
Oh, receiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a little safety, little 5'9", can play slot. Very good, dominant in the slot, man. He's kind of reminds me a lot of what was the name of the receiver that played for the Panthers? Small guy, but like a pit bull.
Steve
Smith.
Stephen Smith, yeah, he reminds me a lot of Stephen Smith with that type of. He's small, but man, that guy plays like a pit bull, man. He's just a passionate. Doesn't take, he doesn't let nobody take him away. He just fights. I like the way he plays. He's really, really good. Kena Lopez says her favorite player is Fred Warner. Fred Warner, talking about Fred Warner, that Fred Warner is definitely going to be a player that I think we're going to go ahead and sign this offseason. Do you think there's any chances somewhere in the 4th, 5th that we can bring in his brother? I think he plays safety, right?
I don't even know who his brother is, honestly.
Yeah, his brother plays safety for BYU. BYU, and he might be there. I think we can probably take him and bring him in.
Well, if he's any
How
good,
good
then
is
our
his?
scouts have already seen him
Yeah.
because they
How good
went
is his
to
brothers?
see
I'm about to say.
Zach.
Yeah, he's good. He's just I don't think he's as good as Fred, but he's he's pretty good, and I think being coached properly, he will be great. And I mean, personally, if you want to keep Fred Warner on the Niners on a decent price, bringing his brother could be a. I know that doesn't have nothing to do with it, but that would be not. Hey, we'll bring your brother. You don't want to leave your brother here, but yeah, his brother. We need safety. His brother plays safety, so that's people say that he won't go no lower than the fourth round, so he would have to be taken in the fourth. Where was Fred Warner taken, by the way? In the fourth or third?
Fifth.
No, not
Fifth.
fifth. Not Fred Warner.
No, it was third. I think
third.
it was
Yeah.
third.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Kittle.
Yeah. Yeah. But how are you going live on a draft day? I will be on the N.W.A podcast. I've been thinking about it, honestly. There's so many podcasts out there that are going to be going. I don't know if I just want to join them or do my own. So I kind of been debating whether I should go live or not on the Niner Sickness.
What do
podcast.
the fans want? Do the fans want Niner Sickness to go live on draft day?
A lot of them want that, but
Well, let's give the fans what they want. Damn it.
Personally, I would like to. I mean, when is the draft's going to be on a Thursday or Friday?
Thursday.
Because normally it's a Thursday. So
yeah, Thursday.
Honestly, I'd rather. I mean, just speaking, coming back after Thursday after draft, to come in and discuss our picks and stuff like that. I think that'd be more beneficial than because really, there's not going to be. As a San Francisco, as a 49er fan, the only thing you're really wanting to talk about is the Niners. We don't care about all the other.
I guess what they want to see, Eric, E-Man, is they want to just see reactions. A lot of the Niner faithful want to see the reactions of the podcasters, which is us. They want to see our reaction. They want to see how we, like let's say Mac Jones is the pick. Okay, Mac Jones is the. Hold on, boss. His mommy. Hold on. So his the reaction of the players that they get Joe, like if Jones gets picked, what the reaction is going to be in our face. Are we going to be happy? Are we going to get pissed? And so forth. And I think that's what they want to know, and that's why they want to see us on there. They say Kiana says, "Nice cell phone case there, Mike."
Thank you so much, my Niner sister. I just had to throw it up here real quick. You know what I'm saying? Just got this today, brand new case. Got the red and gold on it. Loving it. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't normally go live on a Thursday night. We keep it Monday and Friday night. So for me, in this special occasion, I'm with it if the fans like it. But at the same time, I understand, given the quality of the show, that keeping it consistent with Monday and Fridays. But I'm with it on Thursday evening.
Well, no, if I was going to go live, to be honest with you, I was going to go on the Niner Sickness Report, which is my other.
Let's do the Niner Sickness.
Yeah, I was going to go there.
I'll make a special guest appearance.
We get quite a few followings there, so we'll get up to about 50, 80 people following there. So that's where I would do it. Here we have we're just building this page right now, so we'll have 3 or 4. So
it's cool.
I don't know. I think Eric's high.
No, I was just giving you a thumbs up.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what? I'll be honest. I think with this second pick, of secondary, obviously that is the bigger need. But I know tight end might be high for a lot of people with the second round because they look at Kittle and say, man, we got him in the fifth. You got a lot of tight ends or whatever. You should go O-line because the quality of O-line might not be there if you're going to go to the offensive side of the ball. But I personally feel like, look, damn it, get the best quality available. If you got a tight end that's off the charts, go with it. If you got a guard or whatever we need on the O-line, go with it. I'm not opposed to an O-lineman at all because you need that. But I would love to have another tight end. I just feel like depending on who we get at quarterback, if we get a quarterback that can make plays and improvise, as Kyle Shanahan quoted, you can hide some of those weaknesses on the O-line.
Yep.
You can get away with it. We've seen many quarterbacks who have not had great O-lines make things happen, right? If they're able to extend plays. So for me, I don't normally I prioritize O-line, but in this case, if we're getting a quarterback that is different from the Garoppolo or the ones that received this Kyle Shanahan's type of protocol quarterback, if you will, um, I would just love to go ahead and get another tight end. Imagine if we can get a quarterback in Kyle Pitts. Who would be mad at that? Imagine if we had Kyle Pitts and George Kittle. Like our offense would be freaking explosive. Because
And I'm the
Kyle
one
Pitts is a
smoking.
matchup nightmare.
I'm the one smoking weed.
No, I'm just saying in general, just
There's
just
no way in
imagine if
hell
we had
Kyle Pitts is going to be there.
no, I know that.
No, you're talking about
I'm not saying
you're talking about 3.
But he's a beast. Good
no,
God.
I'm saying imagine if we had the opportunity to have like 2 first round picks and to get an elite stud like that. You know what I mean? The narrative would shift about that O line because you have a quarterback that can improvise, assuming you get a Justin Fields or Trey Lance type of guy if they're there. And then you can get an awesome tight end. So again, they don't have to be an elite tight end, like I said earlier, but a good tight end that's really effective who comes in there, and you can probably nab one in the second round, in the early second round, right?
I'll be honest, because we have Jimmy G and he's prone to getting hurt. If Jimmy wasn't injury prone, if Jimmy was able to stay healthy, I would have loved to take Pitts. Not at 3, of course, but take Pitts at 12 or even move up to 8, 9 to take Pitts and put him next to Kittle. But the whole idea of Jimmy G, man, I'd rather rock with Justin Fields, George Kittle, and then pick a tight end. But I agree with you. Pick another tight end in the 3rd or 4th round, and or in the 5th round, and complement George. Because even though I like Ross Dwelly, that's all we have. The other guy, Warner, or whatever, I always call him Wiener. He's not. I don't think he's going to be that effective. He might not even make the team. So, and then Jordan Reed, I don't think he'll be brought back. Like Eric says, he's injury prone. He gets hurt a lot. He's inconsistent. He's a Jimmy at the tight end position instead of quarterback. So we need somebody to be consistent. So I would love to bring another tight end there. I want to bring a slot receiver and a tight end, but also beef up our secondary. We definitely need our secondary to be beefed up because, like Eric mentioned earlier, we all have just 1 year guys, and I don't want to find myself going through another offseason. Are they coming back? Are they not? You know what I mean? Now, if we win a Super Bowl, I can deal with it a little bit better. But imagine if we come this close of getting there, and then we lose half our secondary next offseason because there's a 1 year deals, then I'll be pissed. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to reassure our secondary, bring in some. I think we should bring at least 3 D-backs. I'm not saying just corners. It can be corners and safeties, but I think we should get about 3 players for that secondary within those 9 picks that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go bad with having quality depth either. So depending on who they see out there, I'm pretty sure they're going to get a quality secondary. So it'll be interesting to see where we go in the second round. I know early in the show you were talking about quarterbacks, and are people tired of talking about it because of the narrative shifting? At the end of the day, I think each week that comes closer and closer, you're going to hear a new quarterback name emerge. You know, that's what it's been. Zach Wilson was the start off, and then after that, it was now on to Mac Jones. So who's next? Is it going to be Trey Lance? Are they going to hype him up more? It's going to be this way until the draft, and I think what's interesting is about these quarterbacks is none of these so-called experts really know who's going to be that guy. Because I've been dissecting things lately, and when people say it doesn't fit Shanahan's system, what system has Shanahan had, to be honest, with the quarterback that he's drafted for them to say that? Name one quarterback that he's handpicked and drafted as a head coach.
I'm not even thinking about that narrative. I'm sorry, Mike. I think the narrative is. I think the problem is if you look at, and I know people want to say, as far as everybody wants, as far as the race card goes. I'm sorry, but Justin Fields was one of the top quarterbacks coming in to this offseason coming into the draft, he was prospected to be one of the top elite quarterbacks. And where have you noticed that him and Trey Lance, Trey Lance, he went a season where he threw 28 touchdowns, no interceptions. Like, he was flawless. Yeah, he played one season, but none of these guys have done anything to really move their rankings, as far as I say, down. If you look at it, Mac Jones wasn't even discussion in the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks until recent. And I think it's just, I don't know what it is about the NFL, but I think they just have something against African American quarterbacks. And I'm just being real. Like, if you look at it, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, and you even got this, and then they got Justin Fields and Trey Lance. What is?
They're even thinking bringing the kid from that's going to get picked in the third round. Now they're talking about bringing him to the first round. What's his name?
Hopefully not Newman.
No.
But Kellen Mond is another name that's been jumbled around too. So I mean, I don't know what it is with if it's these mock analysts or what's going on. But personally, my thoughts is Trevor Lawrence is a safe pick. Everybody knows that Jacksonville. I'm almost 100% sure Jacksonville is going to take Trevor Lawrence. He's the safe pick, and look who their GM is. Their GM is Trent Ball. He's going to go with the safe pick. Even Helen Keller couldn't screw this pick up for them. But outside of that, it's a really tough decision to take either Zach Wilson or Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. Honestly, if you want my opinion, I think Justin Fields' ceiling is a lot higher than Zach. I think Zach's a great player. You see what you get out of him.
Zach Wilson has played from a clean pocket, bro. A clean pocket. Nobody's pushed pressure on him. He's clean pocket. Anybody can. And I know, he hasn't had receivers at BYU, but clean pocket, bro. Come on. Justin Fields has played some tough teams and still prevailed. I think he has.
And even look at it, even Trey Lance. I mean, I'm not down on any of these guys. I think they all. I mean, you're obviously what these guys are capable of, and I've even had this discussion outside of this show. Is these pro days and stuff like that. These coaches know what these players are capable of. They've been studying these players. Don't think they just woke up and said, "Oh, let me go see what this player is going to do at a pro day." No, I know which player is going to be good fits for your system and how your system would benefit from these players. And as far as that goes, it's like, okay, well, I may be able to do more than just this with this one certain player if I can draft him, but I'm okay with just doing this if he's not there and I have to take somebody else. I've seen a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Well said, man. Well said.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's a shame that not only the black quarterbacks get that bad mark, but even quarterbacks coming out of Ohio State. I know that a lot of quarterbacks hasn't really come out very well, but I think Justin Fields is an individual, different cat. He's a different person, man. I love his attributes. I love what he brings. I love his character for what I've seen, the poise that he plays in the pocket. He's not scared to get hit. Him and Trey Lance, they're not scared to get hit. They're, people say that he doesn't do his reads. That's such their narrative of Justin Fields that I don't know why people talk down about him. And the kid is special. He doesn't know how to make his reads. Well, he's the kind of system that is run in Ohio. He doesn't have to make a lot of reads. It's more of what kind of the receiver has to kind of keep an eye on what the safety or the corner is going to do based on what they do. They react and they do one or the other, and he has to keep an eye on that receiver to see which way they're going to go. When the time is called where he does have to make his reads, Justin Fields very good at it. I think he scored the highest in PFF. I think
You,
90 something, if I'm not mistaken.
you said the most important word in that whole sentence. Do you know what word you said that is the most important thing as a quarterback? It starts with a T.
Uh,
Timing.
Timing.
Timing is the most important thing for a quarterback. You can make all the reads you want, but if your timing is off, then it could totally ruin a route, even if that player is poised to be open. So you'll see a lot of quarterbacks hold on to the ball too long in these 3 or 5 step drops, and their players were open, but they just missed it. They missed their window of opportunity. So I liked one of the things I seen from Fields that I really liked was his timing. He was great in his timing in making those reads,
Yeah.
and I don't think that was just something that was schemed. Like some of these analysts say, it's like, oh no, they schemed it that way. No, he he made those reads. It wasn't like his coach was over there like, okay, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, do this. No, that's not the way that they planned it out. Usually, you look at 1 or 2 routes.
Correct.
You when you're going through progressions. I
Yeah.
think he just took it to another level. To
They
be
just
honest
don't.
with
They don't
you,
give him.
thirdly.
They don't give him the credit. Him and Trey. Well, they don't talk too much about Trey, but uh, stating that this guy's going to fall down out of the top 10 is it's just ludicrous to me. I don't know what the Niners are going to do. I'm leaning Justin Fields. What this kid can do in a Kyle Shanahan offense. If you heard Kyle Shanahan speak in his conference, he was talking highly about Josh Allen. Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that. He's seen how Josh Allen was able to beat him. He's seen how Patrick Mahomes was able to beat him. He sees Russell Wilson twice a year, Kyle Murray. Ideally, he likes the Kirk Cousins, the Matt Schaubs, type of quarterbacks. But we're coming to a point where we need a quarterback that goes beyond the X's and O's. A quarterback that when Kyle Shanahan calls a play and the defense has the right formation for that play call, that his quarterback can bail him out by running with his legs and extending the play for the next call. And that's something
Or
that
not even that.
Justin Fields can do.
Not just that, but making that read and changing it at the line of scrimmage.
Audibles, yeah. Well, one of them, Trey Lance is pretty good at that.
You don't see a lot of that.
No. Trey Lance, I
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Trey Lance is a kid that if we keep Jimmy for a year, especially, for sure keep Jimmy, I would love Trey Lance for that. I think with 1 year behind Jimmy, the sky's the limit with him. But if we have to start a quarterback because Jimmy wants to be traded, Jimmy doesn't want to stay, starts whatever, then I would go with Justin Fields. But either way, you can't go wrong. But I think the higher ceiling could be Trey Lance, in my personal opinion, for what I've been scouting from both of them. But I like Fields as well. Real quick, I'm going to take a couple more questions, guys. I'm going to call it because I do got to take my grandbaby home, and it's coming to 8 o'clock, and the wife is already texting me. But Kiana says she's a big Alabama girl. She loves her Alabama Crimson Tide. And she's looking at Mac Jones. Now, my question to Kiana is, okay, you want Jones because he best fits the Niners offense over Justin Fields or Trey Lance, or do you like Jones because he quarterback for your team? Because coming out of high school, I know Jones is a year older than Fields, but coming out of high school, recruiting out of high school, do you think Nick Saban, if he had to choose between Jones and Justin Fields to go play in Alabama, who do you think Nick Saban would have taken between those two guys, Jones or Fields? Fields, trust me. Coming out of high school, I'm telling you, Fields and Trevor Lawrence were the high prospects coming out of high school. Jones, again, I have nothing against Jones. I think Jones is a great quarterback. He's very smart between the years. He's accurate. He knows where the receivers are at. He knows where he needs to go with the ball, and that's all great. But I think if we were drafting 20 years ago, 15 years ago, he'll be the number one quarterback off the board for sure. But now that the direction that we're going with all these quarterbacks, I just don't see quarterbacks like him anymore.
Here's the thing: we already have when healthy. Mac Jones is basically a healthy version of Jimmy Garoppolo. He doesn't give us an upgrade. He doesn't give anything. We know what we're going to get. So if Jimmy's healthy, then Mac Jones doesn't provide any more upside than what we have in Jimmy. So as far as athletic ability or anything like that, where's that Justin Fields, Trey Lance, hell, I'll even go as far as Kellen Mond. The reason I say that is because their arm. Jimmy don't have the ball accuracy like some of these other quarterbacks that.
Well, that's where I give it. That's where I give Jones the upgrade. Jones does have it over Jimmy, but can he escape the pocket when you need him to escape, or is he going to take that sack? You know what I mean?
Well, there ain't no really telling. I mean, he hasn't played none of these quarterbacks have played it down in the NFL.
Very true.
So giving them that assessment, I mean, yeah, you got different kind of teams you go against in college, but when you get up to the NFL, it's a total different monster. So some of these players that look so great in college, they're going to come in and they're going to stumble.
This is when they mentioned that Jones, and again, no disrespect to Mac Jones whatsoever. But when they say that Mac Jones is the new Tom Brady, whether you love or hate Tom Brady, it's ludicrous. I
can see him going to a team like Atlanta.
Even if they say Justin Fields is the new Patrick Mahomes, or that's ludicrous too. Because like what you said, man, none of these, even though these quarterbacks have high praise, they have the tangibles to be great. They haven't played a down in the NFL. We don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to be a Peyton Manning or Ryan Leaf?
Ryan Leaf
type of quarterback.
Who are they going to be? I'm going to interject here. What I still, like I was saying a minute ago, what I still don't understand is what is this about Kyle Shanahan's system? Like these people are saying Mac Jones fits Kyle Shanahan's system. What is Kyle Shanahan's system? He has never drafted a quarterback as a head coach. So what are they basing that off of? Because he's only inherited quarterbacks his whole career. He's never drafted one handpicked, that to his liking. Yeah, they got Kirk Cousins with the Redskins, but he wasn't the head coach. So what I'm saying is he's never drafted a quarterback as a head coach, never had a chance to mold his guy. In fact, all he had to do was inherit. So what Kyle Shanahan has shown is the ability to adjust to quarterbacks. Now, granted, he's coached majority of these guys that are similar in the pocket, but RG3 was his one guy. And he had a great rookie season under Shanahan, right? So my whole thing is if we can take the Matt Schwabs, the Matt Ryans, the Jimmy Garoppolos, and make these guys Kirk Cousins and make them look better than what they actually are, I don't see why these people, talking heads, if you will, are going to say Mac Jones fits his system when in reality he has never had a system to implement on a quarterback that he handpicked. So this will be the first time we all really learn about his actual system. Because I don't think Kyle Shanahan has a system. I think Kyle Shanahan has the ability to adjust to his quarterback, as he has proven such with RG3 and the rest of the guys. And he has an ability to adjust, adapt, and this time he gets to be hands-on. So I don't really know that he has a set system. I think he's working around the quarterback strengths of what he's coached, and they have limitations. So we'll see if he gets a mobile quarterback like Justin Fields or Trey Lance, if you will, if that's who's there, assuming Zach Wilson goes to the Jets, we're going to have an opportunity to see what his so-called system looks like.
No, good point there, Mike. And as we come into a close, I do got to get off there. If the Jets pull the shocker and they draft Justin Fields, and it's not a reach to say that, if they do, should the Niners go for Zach Wilson or Trey Lance? Any of you guys can answer, or both of you. Who should they draft? Trey Lance or Zach Wilson if Justin Fields goes to the Jets?
I like Zach Wilson.
Okay.
You know,
Personally.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go different. I'm going to go with the unknown Trey Lance, and the reason being is for the simple fact that he's unknown more than all these other guys. You know, he's played in a lesser conference. He doesn't have as many games, but one thing I like about him, he's not. People have said he's just Colin Kaepernick, which is crazy. He has, you know, I think a better passing ability than Colin Kaepernick would have. Now, granted, I'm only judging that off what I saw. He's not in the NFL yet, but I think he's a different quarterback than Colin Kaepernick. That's for sure. I'm not down on Kaepernick anyway. I love what Colin Kaepernick did, especially since he beat them Green Bay Packers. I love him for that. But as far as Trey Lance, I'm going to go the opposite. The guy was undefeated, right?
Yep.
In his college career, has thrown no interceptions. They say he can audible.
28
You know,
touchdowns, no interceptions in 2019. And yes, he audibles, and he plays a lot under center.
I'll be honest. I would take a chance on a guy that has the lesser of the. He has the biggest reward, the biggest risk, biggest reward of all these quarterbacks. Right?
Yeah.
That's what they're projecting. Why not take a chance to just go all out? You done moved up to number 3. Don't half butt it. Go all the way out. Go take your chance on the guy that is the so-called unrated. That's what I say. I think Trey Lance could be that guy.
You know, it's funny how people say that coaches can get fired for picking the wrong guy, which they can. But
Sure.
do you think Kyle Shanahan is worried about being fired? The guy's a millionaire. He has money. It's not like somebody that works 9 to 5, paycheck to paycheck, where you're afraid to get fired because you don't know where your income's going to come from. Mike Shanahan, John Lynch has money. They're going to reach out and make a decision based on what they think is best for the team, whether it works out or not. Not necessarily because they're afraid to be fired. They could take a Jones. They could take a Trey Lance, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, then they move on to another team if the Niners decide to go away from them. But these quarterbacks, these coaches they choose, they're going to pick their guy, and they're going to live or die with the guy they pick. If it turns out to be good for us as the fans, good for our team. If they don't turn out to be the right, because who knows? What happens if they draft Mac Jones? We're all pissed off, and we're like, man, that's crazy. We gave all that, and then 2 years from now, he has a better career than Justin Fields and Trey Lance. And then the same people that hated Mac Jones and hated Kyle Shanahan, now they're like, we love Kyle Shanahan. That was a great move, especially if we win a Super Bowl. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm just saying we win a Super Bowl with Mac Jones. Everybody changes their tune, right? Everybody praises Kyle Shanahan, and they're the same people that hated him for that choice. So at the end of the day, I think we just got to we have the players that we like. There's the players that we want the Niners to choose. But at the end of the day, unless you are a very, very good evaluator of the quarterback position, I got to trust that Kyle knows more than I do in that particular position. And I may like Jones, but he may see something I may like Fields, but he may see something in Jones that maybe I'm overlooking. Maybe I just can't think of the concept of drafting Jones, that I'm overlooking something that he can provide for the Niners. Because I'm already biased. That's just me. You know what I mean? A lot of us are like that. But at the end of the day, I still hope it. No offense to Kiana. Kiana said both of her parents went to Alabama, graduates from the Alabama University. So nothing against Mac Jones. I just hope we don't pick him. I hope we go with Justin Fields. But I'm going to give you the last word for tonight, Eric, and I'm going to shut it down because I've been getting texts. And if I don't shut it down, my wife's going to come on here while I'm still alive and grab me from my neck. And the show will end one way or the other.
No, that's a good word to end on. I mean, we everything's still as far as in the unknown. I mean, we don't know which direction the team's headed. Just gotta buckle up and prepare for this ride. We'll know.
Yep.
Here in a little while, what direction our team's going to go, and we'll get back to you guys on that.
That's it. All right, guys. It was fun. Friday night. Enjoy your guys' weekend. Enjoy the day tomorrow, Saturday. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday, God willing. at 7:15 Pacific Standard Time. Eric, Florida Mike, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys, man. Boston Hater wasn't able to be with us tonight, but he was with us always in spirit. We'll see you guys. Tom, Dina, and everyone that stepped in today. Thank you. Appreciate you for stopping by. And also, special thanks to Kiana Lopez for being our first time viewer. Hopefully, you will be back. Hopefully, we convince you to stay. This is the first time you're a visitor, the second time you're family. So we look forward to seeing you on Monday. Good night, and God bless, and enjoy your weekend. Peace.